Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about Tribrigade Lyrilisc. Potentially the best deck of the format, either that or Tribrigade Zodiac or Tritron or something like that. Who knows? Anyway, why is this deck so good? Well, let me just start by doing the card by card. Let's start with the Tri-Brigade half of the deck with Nerval. Nerval, along with all of the Tri-Brigade monsters, has the effect where you can banish any of the Tri-types, Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters from the grave in order to special summon a Link monster that matches the amount of Link material needed. So, if you need 2 Link material, you can summon out Fedajit, or any other Winged Beast, Beast Warrior, or Beast monster with a Link rating of 2, right? You know, you could go for 3, banish 3, or banish 4 and go for a Link 4. Hopefully that made sense. All of them have that effect, so all of the Tri-Brigades have that same effect. However, they all have a secondary effect. Nerval, if it's sent to the graveyard, searches out a Tri-Brigade. Karos pitches one of those Tri-types in order to special summon itself. Kit, when sent to the graveyard, can send another one of the Tri-Brigades to the graveyard, and Fractal can send itself from the hand or field to the graveyard to send a level 3 or lower monster as well to the graveyard. So, it allows you to send something like Kit, and then send another Nerval to search out maybe a Karos or a Fractal. Insane engine loop, insanely powerful. So, that's the main deck for the Tri-Brigade. Moving on to the main deck of Lyrilisc, we have Lyrilisc Cobalt Sparrow. This guy, when it's special summoned, adds a Winged Beast monster, a level 1 Winged Beast, from your deck to your hand. Cobalt Sparrow, if you control a Winged Beast monster, can special summon this card and another level 1 Winged Beast monster. Turquoise Warbler, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this one and another level 1 Winged Beast. Barrel Canary, you can target a Lyrilisc monster in the grave, special summon this card from the hand, and then that one from the grave. And Celeste Wagtail, when it is special summoned, you search out a Lyrilisc spell or trap. Now, all of these monsters, or I should say, some of these monsters have effects when they are attached to an XZ monster. Or, not attached, but when they create an XZ monster. Cobalt Sparrow protects it from being targeted. Sapphire Swallow adds another Lyrilisc as an XZ material from the grave, and Barrel Canary prevents it from being taken control of. As for the last card in the Lyrilisc lineup, we have Bird Call. Bird Call allows you to add a Lyrilisc from your deck to your hand or send it to the grave, and then special summons a Lyrilisc of a different name onto the field from your hand. So, you could basically search out something like a Cobalt Sparrow and then special summon out a Celeste Wagtail. Or you could search out a Sapphire Swallow and then special the Cobalt Sparrow, and now you have material for your Sapphire Swallow, not taking up your normal summon. An insanely good card. Moving on to the rest of the cards that are important for this, we have Barrier Statue and Apex Avion. We'll talk about those in a bit. And then Tri-Brigade Revolt. What this card does is it special summons from the grave or the banish pile any of your Beast, Winged Beast, or Beast Warrior type monsters in order to then go into a Link summon of a Tri-Brigade monster. 99% of the time you're going into Shureg. Shureg, when it is summoned, banishes a monster or just a card on the field, non-targeting. So, really solid, and he's 3000 attack. Pretty big boy. Also, he can use that effect once per turn, and it's whenever any of those type of monsters, the Tri-type monsters, gets summoned onto the field. So, you could potentially have multiple non-targeting banishes ready to go. So, there you go. As for the rest of the main deck cards, real quick, we have the Triple Maxi, obviously Triple Ash Blossom. This card's crazy. We have the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. This card is really good against back row heavy decks, or just most decks in general, because oftentimes they will be setting something here or there. We have the Triple Forbidden Chalice. This card's really insane. It's really easy to obtain as well, and it's basically just a quick effect negate. Would highly recommend something like this. We have the 1 Imperm and then the 1 Solemn Judgment. These can be switched out for basically any other card that you so choose. Moving on, Oh, can't touch too many more cards. So, I need to note, I need to say, I should say, that there are a few cards that I'm not playing in here that definitely should be played and would be optimal. So, namely, Almirage, Ancient Warrior's Oath, Utopic Draco Future Dragon, and Utopic Future. The reason... Oh my gosh, stop clicking so much. The reason that these should be played over some of the other cards is because Almirage allows you to normal summon a Nerval, use its effect, and then send itself off to get something like a Fractal or a Chalice, and basically just allows a Nerval normal summon to be at least somewhat viable. We also have Ancient Warrior's Oath, which basically just says, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and then you can send a card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target a face-up monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So, really solid, just a bounce one, which is really good in this meta, or just in general. But it does target, so... but yeah, it's just another Link monster to go into. That's a Beast Warrior. Really solid. We have Utopic Future, which basically just allows you to go into Utopic Draco Future. So, what this card does is... cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. Once per turn, when an opponent activates a monster effect, detach a material, negate the effect. Or negate the activation. Then, if that monster is on the field, gain control of it. So, it's really solid at just negate, take, or just negating. So, really, really good card to definitely invest into if you want to play this deck. As you can tell, this deck is not necessarily a free-to-play friendly deck like some of my other decks, but it's still really good. It's a super solid deck. Moving on to the rest of the extra deck, we have 2 Recital Starling. This card searches out another Lyrilisc card or any other level 1 winged beast, which does include something like DD Crow as well as Nerval. Then we have the Assembled Nightingale. This card attacks directly up to the number of times that, or the number of materials that you have attached to it, and it gains 200 attack for each material attached. Pretty solid. All of them have the ability to gain a certain amount of attack and defense for the amount of materials attached to it. Ensemble Robin allows you to target a special summoned monster when it is special summoned and return it to the hand. Or anytime a monster is special summoned, you could target a special summoned monster and return it to the hand. Really, really solid. Not a hard once per turn, so if they special summon a whole bunch, you could just keep bouncing depending on the amount of materials you have. Then we have Downard and Zeus. Zeus is insane. Downard is just more material for it. We have 1 Ferejit, which basically just allows you to special summon another winged or tri-type from your hand. And then also it allows you to draw 1 and then put 1 back when it is sent to the graveyard. We have a Bear Brum, which allows you to search out your Tri-Brigade Revolt when it is sent to the graveyard. However, again, you search 1 and then you place 1 onto the bottom of the deck. So, then we have the Simorgh. This card will allow you to set the Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds or set the Mist Valley Apex Avian. Not set, but play them from the deck during the end phase. This card basically just negates an effect by bouncing itself back to the hand. So, really solid. Simorgh also protects anything that it is linked to, any winged beasts that it's linked to. So, there you go. Really solid. Then we have another Link 3 in Rugal. This card's not nearly as important. It's probably one of the most cuttable. But, with that being said, it is still very nice because if you have, say, a Shureg and a Rugal, you can Rugal effect, bring something back, and then Shureg effect, banish a card. Then we have Access Code Talker to close out games, and Underworld Goddess of the Closed World in order to get rid of pesky cards. So that is the deck. Let's hop into some replays and see how it does. Now, before we get into these duels, I just wanted to say that, did you know, almost 80%, over 80% of the people who watch my channel are not subscribed? That's all. Alright, so here we are in our first matchup, and I just wanted to say that all of these matches are played in Platinum, so they're all high quality. We started off with a Turquoise Warbler and a Bird Call, so we are going to Bird Call, summon the Turquoise Warbler. Turquoise Warbler effect is going to special summon out our Cobalt Sparrow, but we get max seed. So here I have the Apex Avian in my hand, so I'm like, what if I just search out follow-up for the following turn in another Turquoise Warbler, and then I tribute summon the Avian and set an Imperm. That's 2 negations at the very least, so it's not the greatest, but it's not terrible. We'll see how this goes. They're going to Imperm me. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm just going to bring back the Apex Avian so that I can go for the Turquoise Warbler on the follow-up, and then I'm going to chain max C here, hoping to end their turn and then allow me to actually pop off. But we'll see how this goes. So we negate the Imperm there, and then they are going to go for Tenki. They're going to search out the Ram. Ram is going to then attack for 500, and then they are going to go into Trident, allowing me to draw another card. I end up drawing Fractal, which is really nice. We're going to go for Turquoise Warbler once again. This sucks. We get max seed again, but it's all good. It's not too terrible. We're just going to bring back the Cobalt Sparrow, search again, and then just kind of end on the same play that we did the last time. We're going to go for the Avian here, and since we ended up drawing a Chalice, we can just negate the Trident here in the battle phase. So as they try to pop our card, we're just going to negate it and then destroy their card, and we're good from there. And then during their turn, they are going to go into Bunny Blast and then Borbo. Now, as soon as we go into the battle phase, I negate with the Imperm here, and the reason I do this is because Borbo can attack directly, and if he's able to attack directly, he is able to utilize his Zeus. Zeus is an insane card that I probably can't really beat, so I decide, hey, instead of trying to deal with Zeus, I'm just going to negate it, prevent him from getting to Zeus. We're going to go for Fractal here. Fractal send Kit, Kit send Nerval, Nerval search out another Fractal. Then we are going to go for Chalice here, now that we have material in the grave. We're going to pitch this Turquoise Warbler because it's not doing anything. We are going to banish a whole bunch in order to go into Shureg. Shureg here is going to banish the Tiger Mordar. And then we're going to normal summon out the Fractal, and that is lethal on board. This is kind of a wonky game, but it does show you the power level of this game, or this deck. So, there you go. Alright guys, so in this match, I believe we end up going second here, and we drew pretty terribly, I'm not gonna lie. But we are going to Ash Blossom this Sage with Eyes of Blue so that he doesn't get an egg into rotation, or a stone. I call it an egg because it's basically an egg. But yeah, he's gonna go into Link Karibo and then just set one and pass. So we don't really have the greatest of hands, but we do draw Fractal for turn, which is basically full combo. So we're gonna go Fractal, send Kit, Kit send Nerval, and they max CS. Okay, so here's where things get rather interesting. Not really. At this point, I'm just going to not really commit, since we do have the Barrier of the Storm Winds. I'm just going to normal summon that, walk into this Link Karibo, and then just end my turn. So we do have the Fractal in our hand. We also have set the 2 Chalices as well. But yeah, they're going to set one and pass, and okay, I'm like, alright, you know, it's Blue Eyes, they probably bricked, it's fine. So we're gonna go Fractal here, Fractal send Nerval, Nerval add Karos, and again, they drop a Max C, and I go, oh, that sucks. Okay, well, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. So we're still going to add the Karos here. I'm going to just normal the Karos here, though, and I'm going to go for 3. Now, I can't go for Shureg. Shureg definitely would have been the best play, but because I'm locked into wins because of this guy, I can only go for a Simorgh. Simorgh's fine as well. If I'm able to activate it during the end phase, we should be fine. So I'm going to attack in, and... oh. Skill Drain. Huh. So here's where I would say things get interesting, but it's more so things get dumb. Basically, it's... can I survive long enough, / can I find an out to a whole bunch of 3,000 attack point beat sticks? That's basically all that this is at this point. Because I don't really, like, unless I draw specifically a Harpy's Feather Duster, I kind of can't do a whole lot here. So we're going to go to battle, and I'm going to flip up both of these Forbidden Chalices in order to boost my Simorgh up to over 3,000 attack points. So that's going to happen. And then he's going to attack in and banish the Return of the Dragon Shrine? Return? Anyway, he's going to banish it to protect his card. We are going to Special Summon 2, go into Farajit here, and then Nerval's effect is going to search. Just kidding, it gets Ash Blossomed. Dang it, we don't get to play the game. Oh, this is really annoying. It's fine. We're going to link into Rugal, and the reason we go into Rugal here is because of this effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can make all monsters your opponent currently controls lose 300 attack for each monster type you control. So we're going to do that as best we can. We're gonna just normal summon out a monster, and then go into Shureg. And then Rugal's effect is going to activate. We are going to chain the Shureg here because we want to protect this guy's effect. We want this guy's effect to activate, and this guy is not going to have an effect that actually activates, so it's just going to get negated, but at the very least, it is protected. We're then going to attack over his entire board, and yeah, we are way in control at this point, so we just have to hope that he doesn't have exactly this card that is about to come down. Alternative. The reason this card is so problematic is because it's a 3,000 attack point beat stick that can just be special summoned from the hand pretty easily. So at this point, we just set the Forbidden Chalice that we drew off of the top, and then attack into the Link Karibo. He's going to draw another Return of the Dragon, which is incredibly annoying. Go into the second Blue Eyes White Dragon from the hand, and here we go for Forbidden Chalice. We're going to boost up, and again, he protects with Return of the Dragon Lords. Absolutely disgusting. Not a whole lot we can do at this point. He goes for the Desires here. We do get Shureg's effect in order to search for a Barrel Canary. He attacks for 3,000, which isn't lethal, which is very, very, very nice. The reason we added Barrel Canary, though, is because it basically says special summon 2. That is like the only reason that we do that. So we're going to special summon out 2. We're going to activate the effect, but it doesn't actually do anything, and then we're going to set this Solemn Judgment. Okay, so here we go. They are going to reveal another Blue Eyes White Dragon, or it's the same Blue Eyes White Dragon. No, it's a different one. In order to summon out the next alternative, and then we are going to nuke that. He then activates Nebula Dragon. Nebula Dragon special summons 2 monsters from the hand. Really problematic. However, he makes a big mistake here. He switches out his Blue Eyes White Dragon and Nebula Dragon, which are 2 rather hefty attack point monsters, for a Hieratic Seal. This is a terrible decision from him. We're playing under skill drain. He could have just attacked in for game. Even though his cards are currently in defense position, I don't think they get destroyed off of Nebula Dragon. No. It literally doesn't do anything. They could have just stayed on the field with their effects negated. Doesn't really matter. He's going to attack in, and then we're going to end the turn. Actually, it does matter. He could have won, but instead he chooses to lose. So here I have a 200 attack point monster, and guess what? 200 is more than 0. So we're going to attack over, or at least try to attack over, the Hieratic Seal. Now, here is where things get really interesting. He bounces back our Barrel Canary, which is perfect for us, and then he summons a 0 attack point Blue Eyes White Dragon. We're just going to attack right over that. That's fine. Then we are going to activate Barrel Canary. We're going to special summon out 2 monsters. Activate the effect because it's funny, and then we are going to go for our XZ monster on some Blue Robin. The reason I go for this is for this effect right here. If this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, target a Lyrilisc monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So I'm hoping that he attacks into this one instead of the Barrel Canary, and we are able to add back another monster. He does just that, making every mistake that we need him to make. We are going to add back that Sapphire Swallow. Oh, okay, we have an out. All we need to do is draw a monster, and we do. So, we are going to special summon the Sapphire Swallow as well as the Cobalt Sparrow. We are then going to normal summon the other Sapphire Swallow that we got and go into Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. We're going to then attack for lethal, and yeah. The reason that we go into this card in particular is because it can use an opponent's effect monster that an opponent controls to link summon it. That is basically it. We just get rid of the monster and then attack for lethal, even through skill drain. Alright, so here we are in game 2. We do get to go first once again, and as you can see, we have once again the Bird Call and Turquoise Warbler. However, we are going to start with Fractal because it's in Ash Blossom bait. I kind of wanted to actually get this Bird Call off because otherwise it kind of sucks. So we're going to send the Fractal, and there's the Ash Blossom. We're going to go for Bird Call here. Bird Call, add the Cobalt Sparrow, and then special summon the Turquoise Warbler. Turquoise Warbler is going to go for the Cobalt Sparrow, and then we get Impermed, which kind of sucks, but it's not too bad, given the fact that we can still go into our Recital Starling and search out another card if need be. So we are going to do just... Oh, just kidding. I lied. We're going to go into Ferajit. We are going to special summon out this Turquoise Warbler, and then we are going to go into Simorgh. And then from that, we are going to draw a card and put that right back, because I'd rather have Max C. During the end phase, we are going to bring out our Apex Avion. And then we're going to end on basically one negate and a Max C, and hope and pray that we do pretty well. So here they are going to go and activate their Adamancipator Analyzer to special summon itself. We're going to chain Max C to that so that we can draw some cards, and they are going to pop off with their Adamancipator stuff. They are actually going to take the Max C challenge, as you can see here. They're going to reveal a whole bunch of cards here. They did reveal the Block Dragon, which is terrifying. Oh, they revealed two. They also reveal the Koeki Mairu Supplier, so they're going to special summon that and then add the Guardian. Then they are going to go into Crystron Halqifibrax. This I definitely have to negate, so I bounce back the Avion in order to negate the Halqifibrax. Supplier comes down since something was special summoned. I think it's like it requires a machine or something along those lines. Oh, no, it's when a rock monster is sent to the graveyard. Anyway, so we are going to Ash Blossom their Analyzer. I don't want them searching out more stuff, but as you can see, we've already drawn 5 cards off of this Max C, and they're just going to keep giving us more cards. So yeah, they go for the Borreload Savage Dragon. They're going to attack over our Simorgh and then attack in with the Supplier. So we are going to Imperm here, and then I am going to chain the Forbidden Chalice. Now, I didn't need to do it this way. What I could have done is just gone for a monster effect and then chained the Chalice, because this guy can't actually negate twice in the same chain, so I could have just negated him that way. But I ended up using both of my negates, and it really doesn't matter. Still, we go for Nerval here, we go for the Rugal, and then we are going to go into the Shureg. Just link into the Shureg. We are then going to activate Shureg's effect, chaining the Nerval, and then chaining once again to that the Rugal, so that we get at least the Nerval and the Shureg's effect. So we are going to Nerval add Karos here. Shureg is then going to banish this Borreload Savage Dragon, and then we go for Karos. Karos pitched the Nerval, Karos effect in order to banish 2, in order to go for the Bearbrum, and then now we will lock ourselves into Xyz with Beryl Canary. Beryl Canary bring out the Cobalt Sparrow, Cobalt Sparrow search out the Sapphire Swallow. We are then going to go into Recital Starling. We are going to search out a card with our Recital Starling. We're going to search out the Wagtail. We're going to Sapphire Swallow, go for 2 here. We're going to add the Bird Call, and at this point I'm basically just trying to assemble lethal. So we're going to go for Ensemble Robin. We're going to attach another material to it to give it even more attack, and then we are going to pitch 2 in order to special summon out Fractal, and now I have lethal on board. Pretty guaranteed. I think I had it a little bit earlier, but yeah, as you can see, there is lethal. Alright, so this time we are actually going to be going second, and the only thing that we end up having is a Max C. So, kind of interesting. I'm going to Max C, he is going to Called by the Grave that, which kind of sucks, but as you can see, we are playing up against another Tri-Brigade. So, this should be pretty interesting. They do normal the Nerval here, and they go into the Almirage. This is why Almirage is very nice to have in this deck. They're going to then add themselves the Karos. Karos effect, pitching the Nerval to summon out the Karos. Karos is then going to banish 2 for the Bearbrum, and then go into Rugal. Bearbrum's effect is going to activate, searching out the Revolt, and then sending 1 to back to the deck. They're going to set that Revolt, and it is now our turn. So we're going to start off with the Fractal. We do have Kit in hand, so we just have to go for the Nerval here. Nerval activate, search out the Karos, and then Karos here can actually just pitch the Kit, and they are going to Max C. However, we are still under the Called by the Grave, so Max C is negated. Kind of a huge mistake from them, but honestly, there wasn't a whole lot that they could have done to prevent this. I'm going to go for 4 here. They're going to chain a Revolt here. And with Revolt, they are going to only bring back 2, which I think was a huge mistake. I think they tried to summon out more, but they didn't. So they only go for the Ferajit here. I'm going to Shureg and banish their Rugal. They're going to search out a card, as well as special summon a card with Rugal's effect. So, yep, special summon out the Karos. Nerval, search out the Fractal, and then here I banish the Rugal, just because it has the highest attack. And at this point, we can go into our Lyrilisc side of the deck. So we go into Recital Starling effect, search out a card. We will search the Barrel Canary, and then we will link into a Ferrigite. Ferrigite here is able to special summon the Nerval. Nerval effect, we will banish 3 for the Simorgh. And then from there, we will link into a Rugal. And then we will add 1, send 1 back. We will normal summon out this Sapphire Swallow in order to go into Access Code Talker. And then Access Code, target the Rugal. And then Rugal effect in order to make everything have less attack. And then Access Code, we're going to pop a card. Access Code, I realize I almost made a massive mistake here, because Access Code Talker specifically requires link monsters with different attributes. You cannot banish monsters with the same attribute. So, I banished an Earth already, I think. Yeah, I banished the Ferrigite, so now I have to banish the Shureg, and since I activated the effect, I couldn't, like, take it back. I made a huge mistake there, but it's fine. We have the follow-up with Barrel Canary, and at this point, it's just assembling lethal. I know that he does have follow-up, which is scary, but honestly, with 1 negate, I should be enough. It should be enough anyway. I go into the Ensemble here, and this is lethal at this point, so I just attack in for game. Alright, so we're back with the deck, and as you can tell, this deck's actually pretty good. It's definitely one of the best decks. The Lyrilisc side is really resilient, allowing you to basically just get a whole bunch of monsters onto the field pretty effectively. However, it does lock you into Xyz, which, I mean, not that big of a deal if you're able to get into Zeus. So, you know, there's that. But all in all, it's a really solid, really fun deck to play. And you've probably already seen it all over the place, because, yeah, it's very popular. It's really good, and there's not really much that I can say. It just does what it does, and it does it really well. It can lock your opponent out of special summoning, because how many decks are playing Winds? You know, it can prevent them from basically playing the game with things like Zeus and Simorgh into Avion. You know, it's allowed to play a whole bunch of hand traps while also being able to play through a myriad of hand traps. So all I can say is, it's a good deck. It's super fun as well, so I would highly suggest building this if you want to play something top tier or meta defining. So there you go. Hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated, and if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel action, or just Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.